As Provost and Academic Vice President of Salem State University, I am pleased to convene the commencement exercises and to welcome to today's ceremony you, the graduates, and your guests. Please join me now in standing as you are able for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I am honored to present John D. Keenan, President of Salem State University.
Greetings, class of 2021. Thank you for joining me. I know this is not the commencement you envisioned when you began your academic journey, and it's not the one you had hoped for over the past year. I too held out hope that a traditional in-person ceremony would be possible. Unfortunately, the data told me that this could not be done while also maintaining the health and safety of our campus and our community. I know that this is yet another sacrifice from a class that has given so much to contain the spread of COVID-19. By switching to largely remote instruction, socializing through a computer screen, and giving up some of the activities you treasure, you have played a central role in protecting others during an historic global pandemic. Your sacrifices have been hard, but they have been in service. You have helped to protect the lives of those most vulnerable, and you have helped to keep emergency rooms from overcrowding so that people could get the care that they need. Many of you, through your studies and employment, have even been on the front lines of this pandemic, or will be when you launch your careers. So thank you for all that you have done, all that you will do, and all that you have sacrificed. Your impact during this historic time is truly heroic, and your ability to make it to graduation today, after perhaps one of the most challenging years in modern history, is astounding. I know that for many of you and your families, COVID-19 has brought even larger difficulties. It led to financial challenges, illness, and unfortunately, in some instances, it led to loss. I want to give my condolences to anyone who has experienced the worst of this pandemic. And despite it all, through grit and determination, you persevered. You continued your studies and made it to graduation. Please don't lose perspective of how monumental this accomplishment is. I am confident from that here on, there is nothing that the members of the class of 2021 cannot achieve. You are defined by your adaptability, your resilience, and your character. These are attributes that will serve you well and that our world needs now more than ever. As troubling as COVID-19 has been, it is unfortunately not the only crisis you've had to navigate this past year. The past year has illuminated long-standing faults in the fabric of our nation. We were required to acknowledge toxic impacts of systemic racism and hatred. A racism grounded in traditions of unequal treatment of individuals who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color. We witnessed gross inequity in systems of criminal justice, housing, economics, education, and medical care. We experienced a crisis in our political system that culminated in the storming of the United States Capitol by rioters. But amid the horror of this past year, There have been seeds of hope that speak to the ability of progress to thrive under the most difficult of conditions. People have awoken to racial and economic inequities in our country and that they have organized towards change in their lives, their communities, at state houses, and nationally. Over the past year, as we bore witness to the impact of traditions, policies, and practices that served as barriers to access, many of us learned. We learned that injustice left unchecked is destructive to us all, and that bearing witness alone is inadequate. Your collective activism, intellect, and persistence through this challenging year forecasts a brighter future. We also saw history being made in the representation of women and people of color in some of the highest offices. We saw the inauguration of Vice President Kamala Harris, the first female, first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to hold this office. And locally, Mayor Kim Janey became the first woman and first black person ever to lead the city of Boston. She was sworn in by Chief Justice Kimberly Budd, who grew up right here on the North Shore in Peabody, and recently became the first black female to lead the state's highest court. This long overdue progress does not negate the work that must be done, but we should celebrate these barriers being broken and how that will contribute to a more equitable future. And just as you've worked to hold us accountable here on campus, please continue to hold your respective disciplines, communities, industries, and elected officials accountable as well. Your time at Salem State has prepared you to contribute, to lead, and to make a difference. The future is bright, and your spirit represents the change that we need to see. There is also hope in the way that our country responded to the pandemic. People bought gift cards to support their favorite restaurants, purchased groceries for those in need, and volunteered to book vaccine appointments for complete strangers. Please, never turn down help when you need it, and take the opportunity to help someone who needs you. While we must address the inequities that this pandemic has further exposed, we can also appreciate the many instances in which we saw outpourings of support and compassion for others. We also saw a significant triumph in our scientific community, and that is something to celebrate. Just over a year since COVID-19 was detected in the United States, the FDA has approved vaccines for emergency use. This shines light on the true power of science and innovation. The fastest vaccine developed before that was for the mumps, and it took approximately 4 years. While COVID-19 vaccines might have been developed in a year, the scientific community took much longer to build. That foundation is a product of curiosity, inquiry, and education, of people who not only asked questions, but who had access to the opportunities that would allow them to pursue answers. Never stop asking questions, searching for solutions, and making it impossible for others to do the same. And finally, as the national political landscape became painfully polarized, and it may have been tempting to look away from politics, the voters of this country showed up. Voters turned out in record numbers to have a say in the future of our country. The youth vote also increased and is believed to have tipped election outcomes in several states. Please continue to use your voice at the ballot box, in your communities, and elsewhere. In our commencement ceremonies this year, we will have the privilege of hearing from a leader who has used her voice to help address issues of social justice. We will hear from award-winning author, social justice scholar, and filmmaker, Dr. Monique Morris. I am proud to be granting her an honorary degree from Salem State University. And of course, there is also much hope to be found looking at the graduating class of 2021. Because amid all the challenges that we face, I take great comfort in knowing that those who persevered to graduation during these trying times are the ones who will lead us in the future. The ability of the class of 2021 to navigate this past year and complete your degrees is truly inspiring. Your Salem State degree will be a powerful tool, and I am honored to call you our alumni. So please, always hold on to that sense of determination that got you here today. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Your strength and resilience will always be remembered and admired. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Rob Lutz, Chair of the Salem State University Board of Trustees.
As chair of the Salem State University Board of Trustees, it is with a great deal of pleasure that I congratulate each member of the graduating class and welcome you, your family, and friends to our commencement. I'm truly honored to represent the members of the university's Board of Trustees. As a member of the Board of Trustees, I'm extremely proud of the work the university has done in preparing you to successfully pursue the careers of your choice. The credit for the university's success, of course, goes to you, the students, and to your supporters, to your mothers and fathers, spouses, grandparents, children, friends, and all others who have supported your efforts here at the university. We are ever mindful of the effort required by each of you to reach the success you have achieved today. Thank you and congratulations.
It is my pleasure to introduce Professor Tiffany Chennault, President of the Salem Chapter of the Massachusetts State College Association, who will bring greetings on behalf of the university's faculty and librarians.
Congratulations, everyone. Woo! It's graduation day. Throughout your education, you have navigated across a sea of unknowns. You have persisted through many shifting situations. You are graduating today because you prevailed, making choices and carving out your own destiny. In addition to being well educated in the liberal arts and in your academic disciplines during your journey throughout higher education, you have become aware of societal issues of economic, social, political, and racial inequalities. You have learned to use your voice on issues that matter to you. And you've learned to apply your creativity to critical thinking to overcome challenges that are uniquely yours. Graduating from college, especially during a pandemic, as we know, is no easy task. And many of you are able to do so. Also, many of you are the first in your families to go on to graduate in these trying times. I trust each of you have had many supporters who've kept you going, who've supported you along the way. As president of the union and the Salem State faculty and librarians, I can attest that for me and my colleagues, it has been a privilege to support you in your journey. One of the joys of being an educator at a public teaching university is seeing your individual successes and understanding how those successes matter in ever-expanding circles to your families and to your communities. Listen, this is the most important thing. Today, we celebrate you. We know you will go on to achieve great things for yourselves, for your loved ones, for your colleagues, and for the common good. We want to say to each of you directly and listen closely how valued you are as individuals. We hope Salem State will always have a place in your hearts and in your minds as you move forward and make a difference in the world. Today is your day. Congratulations. We are so proud of you all.
I am now pleased to introduce today's student commencement speaker.
Every commencement ceremony is a big deal, but this one in particular is very special to us as individuals, to us collectively as a graduating class, and to the history of this university. We are the first class of graduating seniors to walk in and walk out of a school year during a pandemic. I can sit and talk about how frustrated this last year has made me. Or I can talk about all the people who prayed that I would fail and hoped I wouldn't see this day. But that's not important. Today, I want to acknowledge unity. I want to acknowledge the support given by family, friends, faculty members, social media followers, people who believed in us all. For every one person who hopes to see you lose, there's 10 more who hope to see you win. And of my 23 years of living, I have never seen so many people stand in solidarity than I have in this school year. Most importantly, I want to acknowledge each other. Because despite all that has happened, every day we choose to keep going. A friend once said, I just feel like I'm in a place that doesn't appreciate me and wouldn't even recognize if I was gone. And I told him he was right. The truth is, a lot of people don't want us here. They don't want first-generation students breaking generational curses with their degrees, or someone coming from a working-class family to secure a six-figure job. And they sure don't want a Black woman delivering this speech. The system was created to keep us disempowered, unwealthy, and uneducated. But that's why we must continue, because we're not letting the system control us anymore. We are going to control the system. For such a large, diverse group of minorities, there is nothing minor about us. Our generation is full of creativity, innovation, perseverance, and above all things, it's full of resilience. I can say a million other great things our generation is, but I'm on a time limit and I'm trying to remain humble. So I'll leave you all with 3 things I will take away from the last 4 years that I hope you all take with me. 1, you do not ask for change, you demand it. I say this because I have evolved as a leader, as an activist. I have learned that when you ask for anything, you give someone the opportunity to tell you no. So I no longer will ask for anything. It is not enough to be the change you wish to see in the world, because there are too many things to change and too many things to happen, and I nor you can save the world. But we can change the world together, collectively, if we demand it. 2, never show up with problems, show up with solutions. It's not enough to say, this program isn't inclusive to low-income communities. You say, this program isn't inclusive to low-income communities, and this is how we're going to fix it. Here are our options. Here are some ideas. Show up with solutions, because advocacy without action is just complaints. And 3, celebrate yourself every day. Celebrate big wins and small wins. Celebrate the opportunity given and the opportunity that's to come. Celebrate each other. It's okay to want to advance your life, because we should all want to take our lives to the next level. But on your journey getting there to where you want to be, remember to appreciate and celebrate where you are now. Congratulations, class of 2020 and 2021. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for those wonderful words of congratulations and thoughtful reflections. President Keenan, I have the honor to present to you Dr. Monique Morris for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Dr. Monique Morris, you are an educator and activist who has opened eyes and hearts by asking difficult questions and committing yourself to finding the answers. As a social justice scholar, filmmaker, and prolific author, you have sparked national conversations about how race, gender, and education intersect. Among your many talks and publications, your widely acclaimed book, Push Out: The Criminalization of Black Girls in Schools, revealed the deep injustices that exist in the very places that are supposed to be sources of opportunity. You present us with a way forward in your most recent book, Sing a Rhythm, Dance a Blues, Education for the Liberation of Black and Brown Girls. Your work has become essential reading for teachers, principals, policymakers, and more. Reaching beyond your impact as an educator and author, you have contributed your deep knowledge towards making progress through countless organizations, some of which include the NAACP, Grant Makers for Girls of Color, the Black Girl Freedom Fund, and the National Black Women's Justice Institute, which you founded in 2014. Your commitment to creating a more equitable, just, and promising world for girls and young women of color has positively impacted countless lives. Your dedication to finding the truth, shining light on it, and advocating for needed change is inspiring. Thank you for dedicating your life to closing opportunity gaps and leading us toward creating a society that works for all.
Thank you for this incredible opportunity to address you, the graduates of Salem State University. Congratulations, class of 2020, and congratulations, class of 2021. Today, we celebrate this incredible milestone with you as you enter the next phase of your life. For some of you, this is part of your family's legacy of higher educational achievement. For others, you may be the first in your family to achieve this honor. And now you can walk boldly in designing new pathways for educational achievement and attainment for your loved ones. There is no question that the past year has brought on unprecedented challenges, but through science, perseverance, ingenuity, faith, and love, and good sense, we've made it to this point. Pause to breathe and acknowledge these blessings, because it wasn't easy for anyone. Malcolm X once said that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. That's a passport you now hold. Your future belongs to you. As you chart your course and consider the next part of your journey, I want to encourage you to understand your trip in the context of the many paths that may knowingly and unknowingly cross your own. The Nigerian author and scholar Chennault shared with the world that until the lions have their own historian, the story of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. I've always understood this as an invitation for us to explore the power of perspective and to understand how we are all participants in a greater narrative about the lived experience, both of a single incident and of shared societal ones. The story of the hunt is something that impacts not only the lions and the hunter, though. It impacts the fly on the lion's tail, the antelope and the zebra who may not be far in the distance. It impacts the grass, and it impacts those of us learning about it. The entire ecosystem is impacted by the story of the hunt. And so this is a metaphor for our justice work. All of us are impacted by acts of harm, acts of injustice. So we can't turn away from those paths that may be different from our own, or that don't appear to intersect with ours. They will still affect the ecosystem that we're a part of. So it all still impacts us. My invitation to you graduates is to engage a participatory worldview and actively seek to locate yourselves in the justice narrative. Your investment in your intellectual self is partnered with an opportunity to engage in narratives, conditions, and structures that are greater than just you. The work you will lead, the discoveries you will make, the lives you will impact are all consequential. Being in this position of leadership requires a commitment to align our actions with the idea advanced by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that justice is the use of power to correct everything that stands against love. Seeing yourself as part of the movement for justice does not require an extraordinary sensory perception. It also doesn't require you to have a fancy title. It requires that we make the decision to be part of the tapestry of healing in whatever sector, industry, career, life scenario, and or condition that we're in. Some of the most important spheres of influence that you will have will be in your own social and familial settings. This reality invites the wisdom offered by Nikki Giovanni, who explored the power of viewing what we do naturally as revolutionary, meaning explore your passions, offer your gifts, but always maintain a commitment to correct what stands against love while doing it. So I ask, will you use your power to correct everything standing in the way of love? Will you radically center the unconditional positive question in every inquiry? Will you uplift possibility rather than restrict opportunity? The challenge of this work is to be present in our current truths while being emergent in the strategies to design networks and interconnected systems that uplift the best in all of us. The challenge of this work is to engage love as a core value and justice as a metric for success. So the challenge is ultimately for you to consider not just whether you will locate yourself in the justice narrative, but how you will do so. Justice is not a pie to be divvied. It is as infinite as possibility. And you are called to join in the co-construction of that ecosystem. That is the future to which your passport grants access. Thank you, Salem State University, for the opportunity to share these moments in community with you. And again, congratulations, class of 2020, and congratulations, class of 2021. Be bold, be brave, and be loving.
Thank you, Dr. Morris, for your cogent and inspiring address. And now we have reached the portion of our ceremony that you've all been waiting for. Provost Silva, will you please present the candidates for degrees?
President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees. The candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences will please rise as you are able. President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Liberal Studies, Bachelor of Science, with specification according to the department in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Salem State University and the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Liberal Studies, Bachelor of Sciences, according to the department in which you have qualified with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
The candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Education will please rise. President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, with specification according to the department in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Salem State University and the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science according to the department in which you have qualified with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Please be seated. President Keenan, I am pleased to present the Salem State University graduates.
Marina Rose Abate, Kendi Abdul Karim, Christina Hope Abuzaid, Olivia Adima, Mildred Sophia Aguirre Santiago, Ahmad Al-Hayek, Melissa A. Alaruzo, Vanda Nicole Almond, Nicholas Alpine, Jasmine Alves, Kyle Christopher Alves, Thomas Connor Ambrose, Kristen Marie Anastopoulos, Nayara Magales Andrade, Leanna Violet Angelis, Madison J. Angeli, Hakeem A. Anamashaun, Melanie Deneen Antonoro, Armel Antoine, Rebecca Lynn Ahrens, Sophia Arredondo, Hannah Molly Ash, Nicholas John Aslanian, Jennifer Alfiero, Aaron M. Avila, John Babstock, Shirley Marion Bacchini, Jacqueline Marie Yoon Baer, Connor J. Bailey, Carlos Ricardo Bamaca, Sandre Chamar Bond, Yining Bao, Raquel Esmeralda Barboza, Bruno Barbudo, Shania Barrows, Cloda Amber Bartholomew, Holly P. Bartlett, Philip Baruch, Felicia Elizabeth Beaton, Robert Francis Beatty, Cameron Beavers, Jacob Bierholm, Sarah Belly, Jessica L. Beliveau, Nicole Beliveau, Leanne Janelle Belmonte, Mohammed Marwan Benchader, Vanessa Lisette Benitez Cisneros, Stephanie Bernardo, Alexandra Berube, Alexandria Biberger, Meredith Bilbo, Tyler G. Belewin, Reagan Bistani, David Andrew Bittler, Danielle Marie Blackmore, Felicia Blackwell, Aaron Daniel Blaisdell, Stevan John Blamer, Jared L. Blyer, Sean Edward Bohannon Jr., Lila Claire Bonacorso Nulish, Aaron Mark Bornman, Gina Natalie Borzi, Jillian Marie Bowden, Emily Madeline Boyle, Amanda M. Bradley, Aurora Brown, Nicole Brewster, Francesca Brino, Samaya Brizard, Kyle James Brasso, Jasmine Ray Brown, Catherine Brown, Micaiah Linnell Thompson Brown, Jocelyn Brown Eaton, Mackenzie Olivia Bruno, Sean P. Bryan, Krista Bucko, Yassine Ahmed Bugis, Angelina Marie Burke, Madeline Reagan Burke, Tyler Robert Burns, Ian Patrick Byrne, Sean N. Byrne, Naima Cabral, Richelyn Cadet, Joshua Camera, Jessica O. Cambrea, Rachel Olivia Cambria, Paige Juliet Canali, Larkin J. Canuel, Joseph Cardinal, Dakota Carol Carnes, James Thomas Karen, Caitlin Carpy, Jack Oliver Carr, Maggie D. Carrier, Marcus Carvalho, Olivia Johanna Cassia, Matthew Patrick Catalano, Anthony J. Celentano, Christopher Celso, Nicholas Centurino, Francis Joseph Servone Maffa, Tiana Chambers, Mien Rosian Chang Contreras, Jonathan Josue Chapin, Alicia Chartrand, Jae-Ru Chen, Chu Fei Chen, Sydney Taylor Chiasson, Laura Marie Chipman, Brendan McMahon Christopher, Catherine Marie Ciccolini, Sarah A. Simon, Sophie Clark, Jennifer Claypool, Nicole Leslie Coates, Catherine A. Coe, Stephanie Michelle Colclough, Isabel M. Colazzo, Jeline Jennifer Collins, Lindsay Renee Collins, Emily Mackenzie Cologne, Marilise Cologne, Alexandra Sophia Colovis, Megan Frances Concannon, Erin Mary Conway, Amanda K. Cook, Jennifer Ann Cook, Jessica Cook, Shanice Deidre Cooper, Genevieve Corbett, Yvonne Corcoran, Daniel Tyler Cornelier, Evan P. Corrado, Francesca Cosco, Catherine Michelle Cossingham, Brittany Alice Kernoyer, Nicole L. Courtois, Justin Michael Cravota, Skylar Crean, Carmen Chrysostomo, Jacob Cole Crosby, Aaron Kathleen Crowley, Timothy Crowley, Omar Cruz Diaz, Anthony Cruz, Luciano A. Cuevas, Erica Curtis, Jessica Marie Curtis, Ariel Dacunha, Isaac Jose da Silva, Lana Millicent Diatico, Jillian Jean Danton, Anna Davies, Jardhe A. Davila, Stephanie Marie Daw, Kaylin Mary Dawes Hegan, Ethan Dean, Michael John D. Benedictus, Justin Debro, Dylan DeForge, Ashley Ann DeFuria, Johnny Demiri, Gianna Marie Denesco, Zinnia Death, Leah Devlin, Lisbeth Diaz, Victoria D. Benedetto, Ashley DeBona, Waylon Ding, Caleb Joseph Dion, Annabelle Grace Dion, Stephen J. DePietro, Alexis Anna DeRocco, Christina Dole, Taylor M. Doherty, Jacob Adam Doran, Patrick M. Doran, Lauren Elizabeth Dorney, Edmilson Dos Anjos, Benjamin Paul Doucette, Emily Rose Downey, Madeline Downs, Ryan Richard Doyle, Brianna L. Duzwa, Amy Dragsbake, Mackenzie Ann Dresner, Celeste Mayer Driscoll, Tara Maureen Driscoll, Tina D. Duong, Graham Charles Dyer, Colleen Eccles, David Edward, Alyssa C. Ekstrom, Renee L. Elliott, Mohammed El Sherbani, Deja M. Uvrard Brewing, Joseph Anthony Fabiano Jr., Cody Michael Famigletti, Shujia Fan, Danielle Farazek, Gabrielle Adele Farnkoff, Manda Delia Farrell, Olivia Holly Beck Facino, Caitlin Feeney, Veridson Felicente, Felicia Felizardo, Lisandra Nicole Fernandez, Daniel Alexander Feroce, Spencer E. Feuerbach, Danielle N. Fiandaca, Samantha A. Flaherty, Emily Fletcher, Stephen Edward Flint, Adarita Fonts, Erin Elizabeth Foote, Juliana Forestier, Anastasia Rose Forgatano, Jacob Fournier, James Furlong, Allison Nicole Gage, Kiana Gallo, Brian James Gargan, Harrison Garofano, Michael Garvey Procillo, Lucia Gana Mongiello, Ryan Patrick Gavin, Christina T. Jalan, Ariana Helvez, Isabella Gentile, Gabrielle De Paula Gervasio, Timothy Darrell Giannatsis, Harry Francis Gibbons, Douglas Gibbs, Alicia Ann Gibney, Alyssa Noel Giordano, Sarah Gitau, Abigail M. Glidden, Sean Lawrence Godbout, Kathleen Gakey, Derek S. Goff, Hannah E. Gonzalez, Roberto Gonzalez, Leah Claire Goodrow, Sage Jordan Grant, Elizabeth A. Gravel, Kyle Greeley, Andrew David Greenbaum, Brendan Richard Green, Alexandra Griesmer, Brianna Marie Grover, Amanda Janelle Guerrero, Sydney Alexander Guerrier, Jessica Guillen, Hanyu Guo, Stephen A. Gutadara, Kayla N. Guzman, Jefflyn Guia, Emma Hall, Tyler F. Hamilton, Dana R. Hansen, Tyler J. Harlow, Jessica Marie Harris, Casey Lynn Harris, Zachary Landon Harris, Erin Elizabeth Hopkins Hartwell, Halima Iman Hassan, Justin F. Hatch, Marie Therese Hava, Stephen Michael Haythey, Jacob Scott Hebert, Sean Eric Hebert, Zachary D. Heiner, Emily Henry, Arshleen Hernandez, Eliezer Hernandez Scales, Omar E. Herrera, Matthew Edward Houston, Sandra Marie Hickey, Justin Alexander Hicks, Joni A. Hill, Ashley Hobbs, Kylie R. Hodnett, Alexandria I. Hogan, Daniela Holler, Mackenzie Olivia Hood, Molly Hornby Finch, Grace Catherine Hosman, Gary Howard, Jessica Hajalari, Kitty Ann Hoyt, Kaylee Hughes, Alice Paul Hurst McDonald, Eloise Hurton, Sandy T. Hugh, Kenneth Richard Highland, Olivia May Imbracia, Janiyah Jameson, Kristen L. Jameson, Catherine Maria Llanos, Brittany Jean Baptiste, Mugisho Jean Baptiste, Clifford Sergey Jean-Philippe, Cassandra Jean Jerzek, Huijia Ji, Qingyi Ji, Xinrei Zhang, Yijiao Zhang, Jasmine Aisha Jimenez, Abigail P. Johnson, Drew David Johnson, Gregory Johnston, Jannard Jones, Mishad Jamin Jones, Nicole Danielle Jones, Shalaya Jones, Gerald Joseph, Sandra Joseph, Valerie Joseph, Benjamin Joyle, Jacqueline Kayla Junta, Fred Alex M. Kagai, Armitage Kamanga, Ari Kamuzis, Caitlin Elizabeth Kane, Nikita A. Karasek, Shauna Jean Kelly, Christian Andrew Kelly, Justin J. Kelly, Shaylin R. Kelly, Michael James Kelson, Lindsay Kemp, Krista M. Kennedy, Mohammed A. Koshafa, Lucy Wairimu Kigathi, Connor Francis Kilbride, Lois E. King, Kimberly Alexandra Curlis, Iraklios Kokani, Savannah Ray Colosi, Indrasita Kordha, Livia Rose Kostopoulos, John William Kriebel, Donna Louise LaChance, Juliana Marie Lalicata, Lexus Yvonne Lamontagne, Michelle Olga Larson, Luke John Latshaw, Anastasia Lawless, Abigail Danielle LeBlanc, Allison LeBlanc, Nicole LeBuff, Nicole Mary LeClaire, Molly Alexa Lees, Zachary A. Lefebvre, Matthew John Legier, Vanessa Lemus Aguilar, Daniel R. Lepore, Jacqueline Marie Lucy, Anna Madison Levine, Yu Lee, James Vincent Lyles, Juicy Lin, Danielle Patrice Lincoln, Yu Ling, Robin Lipkowitz, Ionoska Lyria, Xiao Yu Liu, Jose Rafael Lizardo, Tanya Lopes, Yoselin Jasmine Lopez, Ting Yi Lu, Katie Luador, Claubert Lewis, Tierra Alice Love, Nathaphone Luangudam, Justin Luciano, Anthony Luiso, Yinuo Luo, Erica Marie Leiden, Jay Lyons, Patrick Charles Lyons, Yeshin Ma, Angelica McClellan, Colin McKenzie, Nicholas Adam McPhail, Alan McTaylor, Shannon Kathleen Maglione, Ann Tuette Mahoney Burrows, Livia Rose Maimarin, Fiston Lumand Makua, Adelaida Malai, Haley Nicole Manjune, Matthew Manock, Lindsay Jane Moracchio, Sophia Marcus, Jessica Marinez Gomez, Michael Stephen Marino, Rachel Catherine Marks, Amanda Lynn Marshall, Deshea Marsh Taylor, Noah Martin, Jennifer Martinez, Joyce Martins, Daniel Masarski, Sarah Claire Matera, Elena Maxwell, Aislinn McCarthy, Anne Mary McCarthy, Jalen McCarthy, Kelly Ann McCarthy, Nicole Marie McCormick, Matthew Lawrence McCune, Darcy McDowell, Christina McGovern, Ian McGrail, Shannon Rose McGrath, Sean David McLaughlin, Kristen N. McNichol, Michael McSweeney, Coda Mahalba, Amanda J. Melahoris, Alyssa M. Mello, Matthew George Menise, Sarah Marie Menninger, Bianca Aleja Mercado, Belinda Miranda, Elizabeth Teresa Moore, Maxwell Robert Mogavero, Mia May Mogavero, Joy Ann Moore, Samantha Marie Mola, Savannah Sock Mom, Reynes Antonio Moncion, Carol Monhay, Jasmine P. Montero, Luis Alfredo Fiestas Montero, Stephen Allen Moody, Julissa Elizabeth Morales Liu, Bianca Delia Morales, Diana R. Moreno, Julia Dane Morin, Lahan Morley, Ariana Adeline Morris, Brendan John Morris, Colby Morrissey, Angeline Rena Morobel, David Morse, Odysseus Brewster Tainbo Moss, Francisco Miguel Mota, Hunter Allen Mounts, Rose Marie Mullane, Elijah Franz Mueller, Jake Kenji Mulvey, Kyle James Mungio, Caitlin Marie Munsell, Griffin Murray, Thomas William Muzumechi, Florence Muthini, Kiana Lee Nadu, Lindsay Nagel, Rachel Victoria Nason, Matthew Lawrence Naylor, Prabin Nepal, Marita Janice Uvel Nevins, Brittany Marie New, Cindy Lee Nguyen, Haley Ann Noon, James W. Norling, Michaela Ashley Notice, Jacqueline Nunez, Christopher O'Brien, Leisha O'Brien, Eleanor Kathleen Ofiesh, Olivia Olson, Richard Stanley Okraska III, Jack Robert Olson, Raquel A. Opedisano, Ariana Ortega, Natalia Pacheco, Sarah Elizabeth Pais, Lissa L. Palladino, Elena Palmisano, Maria Ane Panza, Emily M. Panzino, Brooke Papineau, Nicole Paquette, Nicholas Constantine Parianos, Genevieve Cynthia Paskowski, Shivani Patel, Brandon Patton, Eugenio Antonio Paulino, Brian E. Pease Jr., Amanda Rachel Pelletier, Julia H. Pelletier, Sarah Pelletier, Marissa A. Pepe, Livia Marie Perez, Sophia Carmen Perez, Alexandra Perry, Kylie Patricia Pearson, Joseph Nicholas Petrella, Jackson Petrocioni, Sophie Fath, Eileen Marie Phelan, Bianca A. Phelps, Clercius Pierre, Jessica Taylor Pike, Anthony J. Pimentel, Jaylene Pimentel Ortiz, Alyssa Pimentel, Jillian Rose Pinkham, Michael A. Pinto, Zachary A. Pirot, Michaela Emily Planky, Ray Gina Pokrell, Pranit Pokrell, Era Marie Poole, Edwin Puller, Derek Francis Pope, Michelle Pothier, Abeo Krista Powder, Christy Ann Pratt, Melissa Marie Pratt, Yvette L. Prera, Naomi Presume, Amelia K. Putzig, Christopher Leo Quinn, Molly Quinn, Nicholas Robert Quirk, Yasmel Ramirez, Maria Elena Ramos, Nicholas Stefano Rando, Alyssa Raposo, Mon Ronyar, Margaret Rose Reardon, William Anthony Reddy Jr., Joanna E. Reed, Brianna Reed, James P. Reiling, Sarah Eileen Redelick, Gracie Reyes Espinal, Nathan Samuel Ribicandria, Zachary Thomas Rich, Callie R. Richmond, Timothy S. Richmond, Darby Abigail Riddick, Luigina Reggio, Cameron Leonard Riley, Alexis Jane Rhines, Alexandria A. Ritchie, Megan L. Robertson, Caroline Robitaille, Eleanor Ann Massey Rochio, Alexis Mercedes Rodriguez, Jasmine Marie Rodriguez, Lori H. Rodriguez, Lilibeth Rodriguez, Kelly Aaron Romancito, Taylor Grace Romiza, Lisa E. Ronan, Sean Patrick Rooney, Nathaniel Root, Natalie Rossetti, Jessica Page Rufo, Anthony Richard Rusciano, Gina Marie Ruscio, Dana Michelle Rybicki, Sammy Salul, Nurkis A. Sayant, Fode Mohammed Samura, Jonah Sanabia, Elsie Marcella Sanchez Figueroa, Andrena Maria Santiago, Katia Santos, Jesse Santosuaso, Rajib Sapkota, Alessandra Sarmanian, Michael Anthony Sarnachiaro, Caitlin Mary Sartori, John Sasso, Charlene Savary, William Robert Scanlon, Samantha Schiavo, Jesse Schwed, Julia Michelle Sereno, Justin Sarowick, Muhammad Imran Sheikh, Fotini Shanos, Yang Shu Shen, Kimberly Shields, Rebecca Michelle Stenberg, Kayla Rose Seguenza, Adam J. Sylvia, Elizabeth Simmons, Hannah B. Sinclair, Michael Siversten, Allison Marie Smith, Savannah Lee Smith, Kama G. Snook, Riza Soares Texera, Devin Joseph Sobazensky, Teresa Marie Soldan, Sarah Elizabeth Solt, Joseph Salvatore Sorrentino, Rangel Soto Caminero, Victor Soto Perez, Lena Yanexa Soto, Pamela Soto, Cassandra Souza, Danielle Marie Souza, Timothy Howard Sova Jr., Grace Elizabeth Sparkman, Maria Spencer, Aaron Deborah Spiegel, Michael Walter Spreadbury, Juliana Stacy, David Stankovsky, Anthony Amoako Stevens, Dylan Stone, Amy M. Stone, Nicholas Christopher Stott, Danielle K. Stotts, Antrice D. Suarez, Brianna Rose Sullivan, Leslie Christine Sullivan, Riley John Sullivan, Wanning Sun, Rithi Suin, Duella Sutton, Margaret Sweeney, Robert Sweeney, Matthew George Swindell, Michael Taggart, Diana Marie Tarnowski, Lillian Tavares, Ashley Taylor, Amberly Tejada Manning, Antonia Gabriela Teo, Thea Louise Thomaseth Buggy, Lauren E. Thompson, Sharissa Yasmin Thompson, Tommy Thongsithavong, Catherine R. Timpany, Jenna R. Tyrone, Jennifer J. Towers, Kim An Tran, Julie Travis, Sergio Trevino, Dominic F. Tringali, Nicholas Connell Tripoli, Rachel Tripp, Aliyah Rhea Tucker, Samuel A. Tufts, Stephen J. Toomey, Alexander Uchendu, David Valenzuela, Manuel Valenzuela, Joey Van Bracht, Christian Jacobus Vanderschiff, Elsie Vargas, Abigail Jacqueline Varney, Christopher Raul Vega, Alexander L. Verville, Xander Robert Vieira, Amanda Faith Vitello, Maya Christina Volpaccio, Daniel Jonah Voyer, Drew Julian Voyer, Lily Vu, Valentina Vukovic-Skarep, Anastasia Monique Wade, Savion Isaiah Wade, Emily Ann Waldman, Morgan A. Walsh, Megan Lee Walters, Han Wong, Barbara Wanyana, Sean Patrick Ward, Mary Catherine Warner, Toyel Washington, Ari Watanabe, Tyler M. Wayne, Elizabeth A. Weeks, Skylar Joy Welch, Patricia Welsh, Mackenzie Allison Wheeler, Abigail M. White, Alexandra Joan White, Harlan Richard White, Thomas James White, Kevin J. Witten, Shalana Wilcox, Paul Wazinski, Brooke Ashley Williams, Sebastian Williams, Amanda Willis, Liam Thomas Wilson, Juliet Madeline Wynn, Haley Elizabeth Wisbowski, Andre Alexander Wood, Alicia Adrian Wood, Natasha Woodard, Destiny Michelle Wernham, Jin Wu, Yang Xiu, Zen Shu, Narine Yasan, Jacqueline Zacharia, Jingzhe Zhang, Xian Zhang, Yi Sing Zhang, Pei Tong Zhao, Chao Chi Zhou, Carliana Elizabeth Zokir, Raisa Esther Zoria.
Congratulations to the graduates. New graduates, you have many to thank for assisting you in achieving the wonderful milestone of a college education. The faculty of Salem State University were a critical part of your success. New alumni, please join me in showing our faculty our appreciation. And now, to bring us greetings from the Alumni Association, is Double Viking Deborah Lee Surface, Salem State University's Alumni Association President.
Hello, graduates. I am Deborah Lee Surface, Salem State University Alumni Association President. I am a double Viking. I graduated from Salem State with a bachelor's degree in art in 2005 and my MBA in 2019. My path to becoming a Salem State student was non-conventional, and maybe like many of you. My career at this university, as I'm sure you can relate, was full of people who showed me compassion and who had a desire to see me succeed. I found where I belonged, and it was in the most unexpected place. The university, its faculty and staff, offered me so many opportunities and provided me the chance to make connections that would help me as I grew in my career at Salem State and beyond. But those opportunities and connections were unexpected. because I did not have any intention of attending Salem State for my education, let alone 2 degrees. But ultimately, and fortunately, I fell in love with this institution. So how does someone who never had any intention of attending Salem State end up becoming a double Viking and the president of the Alumni Association? Let me rewind to 2001. I had applied early decision to the University of Rhode Island and knew that was where I wanted to be. There was no question. After declaring my major, making the cheerleading team, moving to URI early to start practice, and finally attending my first week of classes as a freshman, I had an epiphany. I hated it. I called my parents and said, I hate it here. I can't stay here. Thankfully, they supported me in my decision. I would return to the North Shore and go to Salem State to take some classes. Luckily, before leaving high school, Salem State had a table set up in my school for on-the-spot admissions. And while on the way to lunch that day, I said, hey, why not? They waived the application fee, my dad went to Salem State, and let me just apply. So I did, and I got in, full well knowing I was going to go to Rhode Island. Well, that one application, filled out on a whim, opened so many doors for me. Salem State, in my time of need, offered me an opportunity to return home from Rhode Island and find that feeling that I was missing. When I came to Salem State, I instantly felt at home. I instantly knew it was the place for me. I took night courses to begin with, and eventually I was admitted to the honors program, where I was awarded a presidential honors scholarship. 4 years later, like all of you, I walked across the stage at graduation as a newly minted alumna and would return several times over the following decade. And now, I stay connected because of all Salem State has given to me, given all of us. I have chosen to be part of the Alumni Association for the past 10 years and become an adjunct in the Bertillon School of Business because I want to give to future students what Salem State gave to me. I want to be a part of helping to create opportunities for students like you and me, and ensure every student has the chance for that unique experience that culminates in the pride and connection we all share. Every aspect of my connection to Salem State, as a student, an adjunct, and Alumni Association president, feels like home, and everyone at Salem State feels like family. And for all of you, graduates, your family is going to grow in leaps and bounds following today's ceremony. Our alumni community is over 70,000 strong, and you're all now a part of that community. The Alumni Association is here to support you and be a support system for you to continue that connection to the university as you had as students in your postgraduate lives. Our graduates work together to support and lift each other up. The Alumni Association sponsors events and activities throughout the year to connect you to our immense alumni network and offers you the opportunity to stay involved within your major, your new profession, and your passion. Whether you graduate today and follow the lead of over 85% of our alumni who remain on the North Shore, or chart your own course, you will join our fellow alumni in fueling the economy, keeping us safe, educating our communities, keeping us healthy, and working on the front lines during the pandemic. While you are continuing to show the world all that makes you a Viking, your determination, grit, and resiliency, remember to stay connected to the place where you honed those traits. The opportunities Salem State has provided to all of us was just the beginning. As you go out into your communities, know that the university, through the Alumni Association, still has so many opportunities for you to explore. Graduates, once again, congratulations. We all look forward to seeing the differences you make in your communities and how your lives will be changed with the degree you received today. Please stay connected so we can see that transformation. Come to our events, stay in touch, or reach out to me personally so I can buy you a cup of coffee and we can talk together about your future.
I hereby pronounce today's commencement ceremonies adjourned.